I'm going to show you how to do a sloped bind off. As you can see here, I have two swatches. I have the same number of stitches bound off on each swatch and at the same rate. But you can see here, there's this stair step situation happening. Whereas here, there's this really smooth edge. This is really great for shaping necklines or at the underarm, anywhere where you might want to come back and pick up into this edge. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to do it. I have a swatch started, and as you can see, I've already bound off the first 6 stitches of the swatch, and I worked to the end of the row. The first row of binding off, just bind off as the pattern instructs. The slope is created and the transition between the bind off rows. So the first row is normal, and now I'll show you how to do the rest of the rows. So here I'm going to just work in pattern up into the last stitch of the row. So I'm in stockinette stitch, so I'm just purling across. There we go. So we've reached the last stitch. So I'm going to slip it purlwise, just slip it right onto that right needle. And now I'm going to turn my work. So now I'm ready to do my second bind off row. You start this row by slipping 2 stitches onto the right needle. You want to slip them one at a time, and you want to slip them purlwise. So that's 1, that's 2. Then use the tip of your left needle to bind off that first slip stitch. Now you're going to bind off the rest of the stitches that you need to on this row as you normally would. So I've just bound off 1. I want to bind off a total of 3, so I'm just going to bind off 2 stitches normally. So that's 1 and 2. So you can already kind of see that slope is starting to take place. I'm going to work to the end of the row and then show you guys those steps one more time. Turn my work and purl back. I'm going to purl right up to that last stitch. So here we are at the last stitch. I'm going to slip it, and now I'm going to turn my work. So I'm on to my next bind off row. I'm going to begin it by slipping 2 stitches, one at a time, purlwise. So that's 1, that's 2. I'm going to bind off that first slip stitch, and then bind off the rest of the stitches needed for that row as I normally would. So again, I want to do a total of 3. I already did 1, so I'm going to just bind off 2 more normally. There we go. I'm going to work to the end of my row, and we'll admire this slope we've created. So here we go. You can already see that slope is taking place. Very approachable and easy to pick up into. It's a really great technique. I hope you enjoy it.